Hi everyone, Brother Nilsson here. Just going to be giving you a final review of the journal for 12 and 13 to finish out the class with these assignments and give you a feel for what those last classes would be like and the information we want to share with you. So we've now completed the Zookeeper Secret book. It's been a great read. Students often say it's the favorite part of this class that they have, one of the most impactful things. There's a lot of things they say, but this book comes up regularly as something that students have really enjoyed and has helped them change some of their thinking. And as you recall, we had these 7 heresies that were addressed in the book. You can find them on page 23. And as you think about these, as you've read the chapter related to it throughout this semester, maybe your thinking has been shifted a little bit to more of an appropriate place with your thinking. So with each of these heresies, I thought it was interesting they phrased what we shouldn't believe rather than just stating what we should believe. So I wanted to share with you what I've put together as the heresy with its doctrine that debunks that heresy. So the first heresy, only lucky people find a calling in life. The true doctrine here is the doctrine of identity. Everyone is a child of God with a divine nature and destiny. We all have a calling from God. The second heresy, you should seek your one true calling in life. And the doctrine here is the doctrine of spiritual gifts. Because our spiritual gifts are so adaptable and so can be used in so many ways, and we all have unique gifts, there's many different callings that we might be able to fulfill. Heresy 3, you get to script your path to a calling in life. If you just plan more, things will work out. The doctrine of divine guidance balances that with the idea that God will direct his children with personal inspiration and revelation in their times of need and decision. So I love this doctrine, and this is something we've hit on over and over throughout the course. The next heresy, you have to set aside your calling in order to support your family. Of course, there's financial considerations here, but this idea of stewardship, the doctrine of stewardship, God gives us stewardship over our families for sure, and over our professional service to others. So God expects us to be helping and serving others, including our families, and they both can be done. The next heresy, when you find your calling, work will be blissful. This is one of those, wouldn't it be nice if you never had a bad day at work again? But work and trials, if you think of times in your life when you've learned the most, there was probably trials involved. Work is an eternal law. Trials, tests, and struggles are a part of this mortal existence. And if we're passionate, if we truly have that passion, then we'll work through those trials and we'll continue to press forward in that work. The next heresy, when you find your calling, the world will take notice. And the true doctrine here is that maybe the world won't notice, but as you fulfill your calling, you're building the kingdom of God. All work is noble and can be viewed as a calling to build up God's kingdom. Again, another purpose that we serve. Think of that gathering Israel that our prophet has talked about. And the last heresy, meaning is found at work. Well, it is in many ways. Meaning can be found at work, but the doctrine of the plan of happiness, meaning can be found everywhere. This life is designed to help us find meaning in work, home, family, church, and other experiences. So these 3 elements, passion, purpose, and place, are highlighted in the final appendix of the book. Passion being that particular gifts, talents, and interests that you have, things you're hardwired with. Purpose is that cause that you want to serve and the people you want to help, the problems you want to solve. And place is that the organization, the company, the location, the industry that you feel drawn to. And again, those doctrines are highlighted there. We're going to talk about building your calling map. It's a 5-step process, and we'll walk through what Journal 12 has in it. And you're going to take these 3 elements and talk about how they relate for you and how they might overlap in some cases. So starting with the 3 circles, you have your purpose, passion, and place. And the more those begin to overlap, the more you'll have that sense of calling and direction for your life. There are a few ways that this can get thrown off. So ways to miss your calling. If your place and your passion overlap, your situation makes good use of your gifts, you're in a company that's a place you feel like you belong, but the purpose or the problems you're solving aren't particularly important to you. It's not a cause you believe in. There can be a disconnect there. Another way, if your current situation allows you to pursue a cause you believe in, so purpose is there in place, but your passion, you're not able to contribute your best gifts to that work, that's another way it can be off. And as you consider, you're going to be putting together a map like this with your 3 circles and overlapped in the ways that you think best describe where you're at right now. And if any of these, the ones where it shows this part's still disconnected, you can submit a map like that. Just explain why. Another way, you have a clear cause, you're equipped with that purpose, but your current situation neither uses your gifts nor reflects your cause. So your place is disconnected from your purpose and passion. And finally, this could be it. You see no connection between passion, purpose, and place. You don't know necessarily what you're good at, how you want to serve, or where life has placed you. This is that lost place. If you find yourself in this position, might be good to see a career counselor. I'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one, talk a little bit more, see if there's additional tools and ideas that we can help you with. But if you submit a map like this, that'll be totally fine. Just explain why you see those disconnects. So let me jump over to the journal document. When you go to Journal 12, you'll download this Word document, the Passion, Purpose, Place Calling Map. And the goal here is to create a map for you, and you can read through these instructions. They're also in the appendix of Zookeeper Secret, and you can read through the examples they give in the book. So step 1 is to size your circles. Which of these circles, passion, purpose, or place, is most important to you? And you'll start writing about that area. So here's some questions that might get you thinking about passion, purpose, and place. So read through these questions. You have a strong sense of activities that you want to do, your unique gifts and talents. Purpose, do you have a strong desire to pursue a particular cause or solve a particular problem? And with place, do you feel drawn to a particular organization, industry, or location where you want to be? And as you size your circles, you have this box, and if you click on the circle, in Word, you can just drag that box to be, if your passion is really big, you can go to the maximum of that square. If passion is kind of moderate, you can size it to where you feel like it represents your passion the best. Do the same with purpose and place. And then in step 2, fill in the contents, you'll start writing about one of those categories. And there's a lot of prompts here. There's lots of questions, some that you've seen in your journals before. And as you go through these questions, just reflect on each one. I think it gives you respond to at least 5 questions, but consider each one and which ones stand out as something you want to answer. And just type your answer right here in the margins between each question, and this box will grow as you start to write into it. So look through those questions. By the time you've gone through that, then you'll be able to look for themes in the things that you've written. If you've reflected on something over and over again, you'll see those clues. If it helps, you can highlight or change the color of the text. Just be creative with it, however it helps you to connect the themes between the 3 categories. But as you look at that column with passion, what's the main theme that stands out? And you can write a short statement about that here. In your purpose column, what's the main theme that stands out there, and write a short statement about that. And then for place, do the same thing. Look through those responses that you've typed in. Don't skip to this too quickly. You want to spend time in step 2, writing out and thinking about those questions. Then go to step 3 and look for those themes. In step 4, you'll be creating the picture. So this can be done a couple of different ways. In your handouts, there's a page for this, passion, purpose, place, calling map. The rest of the page is just a blank. So you can draw your map on that, or you can draw it on any blank paper. And the way you'll submit that will be as a picture. So you'll submit this Word document with the text and the information in it, and you'll also submit a picture of your calling map that you've drawn out by hand. If you want to draw it digitally, if you have a way of doing that, that's great too. So you'll draw, size, overlap, and label your circles. Include the themes from step 3, so any of the main themes, write those in. And then be creative. You can color it, make drawings and descriptions, describe how those 3 connect. Step 5 is just to overall look at your calling map, interpret the meaning and the direction overlapping circles provide. So if you see that passion and purpose are really strongly overlapped, why is that? Describe that. If place and passion are overlapped, why is that? So create a description of those overlaps, and particularly this middle part. If there's a spot where all 3 overlap, what is that saying? What is it that lives in that area? And that'll be part of what Journal 13 has in it as well. So that's the writing, and then the drawing will be taking a picture and submitted as well. So that, in essence, is the final assignment. Step 5 is in Journal 13, which I'll now go into. So here's a couple pictures of what students have submitted in the past, what their map looks like. They drew arrows and made text boxes to describe their parts. And there's another one as an example. Hand-drawn ones would be great as well, so look forward to seeing those. So again, the passion, purpose, place, that middle part, that place where things come together. People call this different things: the sweet spot, your why, your meaningful work, your mission statement, your calling. There's a lot of different things this could be called. And the final part in Journal 13 will be to create a statement that defines that overlap, that sweet spot. So from Ken Coleman, how can I do what I do best so I do what I love to do the most? The sweet spot, he calls it. Bill Johnson, the Dream Dean, he calls it your meaningful work, sharing your gifts, making a positive contribution, becoming a better person. Stephen R. Covey, he talks a lot about writing mission statements and how powerful that can be, guiding your decisions, making it a part of your DNA, creating a living document that works with you. And Jeff Thompson, author of our book, You Find Your Calling, where you see your spiritual gifts and how they obligate you to serve others, allow you and obligate you to serve others. So that idea of calling again. So the statement has a formula here. There's a handout as well for this, but you can type it directly into the journal. I bring my talent of, look at your passion list from Journal 12. Is there 3 things that you can write in there? To serve what purpose? Write those 3 things in. In what place? Is there a particular industry, company, where you see yourself doing that service? And what would be the end result? So you create this personal statement that, again, lives in that space in between your overlaps. And that will be in Journal 13. So in Journal 12, you size your circles, you fill in the contents, you look for the themes, you put the picture together, and then charting the terrain. In Journal 13, the personal statement that you started in class or you're working on now. Make a travel plan, which will be, what are your next steps? What do you need to explore next? There's a course evaluation in the journal where you can give any feedback. And then one final request is completing the university evaluation that's in Canvas as well. So between Journal 12 and 13, that pretty much gives you a summary of it, and look forward to reading those. Let me know if you have any questions.